All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new movie review. I just got back from seeing Bad Boys: Ride or Die, which is the fourth film in the franchise. And I got to tell you, after seeing the film, I really think this one should have been called Bad Boys for Life, and the last film called Ride or Die. I really do. And I think when you see what happens in the film, I think you would probably agree with me. So let's talk about this movie here. First of all, there's one recasting in the film that I did not like, and I don't know why. Teresa, Marcus's wife, has been recast by Tasha Smith. And I don't know why they made this change. I don't know if the original girl didn't want to come back, but she was back 4 years ago, and she was in the originals as well. And this girl acted way different from the girl that played her before. And so that was the one piece of the puzzle that was kind of off here. They also introduce a couple of characters. You have the police captain's daughter and granddaughter are in this film in a storyline that I think was completely unnecessary for the film. If you take them out, it really wouldn't have changed the movie really at all. Now, it would have changed, well, I actually was talking with my wife about this on the way back. I know why they put them in there, and I might talk about this at the end because I'm going to keep this as spoiler-free as humanly possible. But I know why they added them in there. It's for a storyline that is all tied up at the end for justification for an action that happens at the end of the film. And I just thought it was completely unnecessary. It didn't need to happen the way it did. That was the one real missing link, or the weak link of the whole movie. First of all, I'm going to tell you right up front that I enjoyed this way more than the last film. Way more than the last film. And I will tell you where I ultimately rank this at the end of this review. Now, this film is really cool in the fact that the storyline ties all four movies together in a nice bow. I really appreciate a little bit of the thought that went into making this storyline rather than the last film. The last film was nowhere near the level of this one. And you can see we got the same directors back, and they have definitely matured over the last 4 years. This film had much better choreography, much better direction than the last one did. So you can actually see that they have matured quite a bit. It was nice to see them back. We also heard more of the theme in this film. So I really enjoyed that as well. They brought the theme back. You still have the sweeping camera that they have to do in every single one of the films. So the directors did a much better job with that in this one. There's also some new technology that was used. I saw a little bit of a documentary on this the other day on how they do some of the gunfights in this film, and it was really well done. It was interesting to see everybody came back from the last film. Even Reggie's back, and Reggie has his day in this film. So there's a couple of scenes with Reggie, and I think he kind of steals the show in both of the scenes that he's in. And, well, he's in more than two scenes, but the two biggest scenes with him. And you also have a life event that happens with Martin Lawrence's character, Marcus, that kind of changes their whole dynamic. And the characters themselves kind of switch places from previous films, where you've got Will Smith having panic attacks in this film, which he's never experienced before. And that's the only spoiler I'm going to give away from the story. And so Marcus is now kind of the one that kind of grounds everything to a degree. There's kind of a spiritual message in here that was interesting and kind of funny, but everything is all tied into a nice bow towards the end. And, you know, the movie was definitely more entertaining than the last one. This was a true action film. It's going to keep you gripped from the beginning until the end. There was nothing boring in this film, and it was engaging. Now, the action was nowhere near on the level of the first or the second film, though. There's still something, you know, about those two films, you know, with the direction, obviously. It's just better direction, but you had a more seasoned director doing those films, and it was kind of his style coming into these movies. And he actually has a cameo in this film, again, as another driver that confronts him, which is pretty funny. So, to me, this film was way more well put together than the last one. So let's talk about where I rank this as far as all three films. So I probably give this one I gave the first one 3.5 stars. I gave the second one 4 stars. And I gave the third one 2.5 stars. I give this one 3.5 stars. I put it on the same level as the first film. It's not as intimate as the first film. Obviously, this movie has a lot of moving parts because of the amount of characters that are in it and some other characters that they introduced. Like I said, really didn't need to be in there, but were in there for one major plot point itself. We also had Will Smith. His son was back and had a big role in this film as well. And this definitely does leave the door open for some potential sequels. And from what I understand, they plan on doing 2 more films. Now, what's going to come into question with that is Martin Lawrence's health. I'm not here to spread rumors, but I've seen him in some of the interviews. My wife and I were actually watching some of the interviews yesterday, and it definitely looks like there is something neurological going on with Martin Lawrence. And it's I don't know if he's tired or what's going on, but he doesn't want people to spread rumors. He says he's in great health and that all of the rumors out there are wrong. And like I said, I do believe that the studio plans on making 2 more films in this franchise, and I will definitely be there for those as well. I'm just glad I was able to catch up and finally watch the first 3 films a couple of days ago, and then I got out to see this one today. If you're a Bad Boys fan, this film is a must. You will enjoy it. It definitely fits in with the rest of the franchise and is a much, much better film than the last one. All right, guys, so if you guys have seen the film, what did you think? I would love to hear everybody's thoughts on this, and I will see you on the next review.